Right now, as you read this, something in your head is narrating it. It's reading these words back to you in a voice. You didn't choose to turn it on. You can't seem to turn it off. And here's the strange part. You call that voice you. But it isn't the whole story. Think about the last time you made a mistake. A small one. You dropped something, forgot a name, or sent the wrong text. What happened next? A voice showed up. It said something like, "Why do you always do this? That was embarrassing. You should have done better." It sounded certain. It sounded like judgment. But whose judgment was it? Psychologists have a name for this. They call it inner speech. And almost everyone experiences it. This internal narration isn't just random noise. It helps you plan, remember, solve problems, and regulate your emotions. Your brain built a voice to talk to itself. But somewhere along the way, you started believing that every sentence it says must be true. And that's where things get interesting, because that voice is not one simple thing. It's made of pieces. Pieces of your parents. Pieces of teachers who praised you or criticized you. Pieces of experiences that shaped how you see yourself. When your inner voice says you're not good enough, it usually didn't create that sentence from nothing. It learned it somewhere. It repeated it until it started sounding like your own voice. But this creates a strange question. If the voice is built from experiences, memories, and things you learned, who is the one listening to it? Who is the one deciding whether to believe it? That might be the most important distinction you can make. The voice in your head is something you experience, but it doesn't have to control you. Have you ever caught yourself in the middle of a thought? A moment where you noticed, "Why am I thinking this again?" That moment is important, because there are two things happening. There is the thought itself, and there is the part of you that noticed the thought, the observer. Modern psychology calls this ability metacognition, the ability to think about your own thinking, and it changes the way you interact with your mind. Because a thought appearing in your head does not automatically make it true. Your brain produces thousands of thoughts every day. Some are useful, some are fears, some are old patterns repeating themselves. The mistake is believing that every thought deserves your attention. But why does this voice feel so real? Why does it feel like the most you thing about you? Because it's constant. It has been with you for as long as you can remember. Your brain is constantly trying to predict, analyze, and protect you. That inner narrator evolved to help you survive. It replays mistakes so you can avoid them. It imagines problems before they happen. It creates scenarios so you can prepare. But a system designed to protect you is not always designed to make you happy. That's why the voice can sometimes be harsh. It focuses on what went wrong. It remembers criticism more than compliments. It searches for threats even when you are safe. The voice isn't negative because it hates you. It's negative because it was built to look for problems. And once you understand that, something changes. The next time the voice says you're going to fail, you always mess things up. Everyone noticed your mistake. You don't have to fight it. And you don't have to obey it. You can simply notice it. A thought appeared. A feeling appeared. A story appeared. But you are the one who noticed it. Researchers have studied this distance between you and your thoughts. Psychologist Ethan Kross calls one version of this mental noise chatter. It's the endless loop of negative thinking that repeats the same worries without solving anything. One interesting finding from his research is that changing the way you talk to yourself can create distance from those thoughts. For example, instead of saying, "I can't handle this," some people find it more helpful to say, "You can handle this," or even use their own name. "You can do this." It sounds small, but that small change reminds your brain that you are not just trapped inside the thought. You can look at the thought from the outside. This idea appears in many traditions and philosophies throughout history. The ancient Stoics described thoughts as impressions that arrive in the mind. Their point was simple. A thought appearing does not mean you have to accept it. You can examine it. You can question it. You can choose what deserves your belief. So why is this important? Because your life is shaped by the thoughts you believe. A person who believes every negative thought becomes controlled by them. A person who learns to observe their thoughts gains freedom from them. Not because the voice disappears, it probably never will. And you wouldn't want it to. That voice helps you plan your day. It helps you rehearse conversations. It helps you imagine possibilities. The problem was never that the voice exists. The problem was forgetting that you can disagree with it. Every time you catch a thought instead of becoming it, you strengthen your ability to observe your own mind. Over time, that distance becomes powerful. It becomes the difference between someone who is controlled by every passing thought and someone who can choose which thoughts deserve attention. So the next time the voice in your head tells you who you are, ask yourself, is this actually true? Or is this just an old pattern repeating itself? Because somewhere behind all the noise, behind every fear, behind every judgment, there is a part of you that has been listening the entire time. And that part is the one you should learn to trust. If you want to understand the hidden systems inside your mind, subscribe. Because the more you understand your brain, the more control you gain over the life it creates.